Psychophysics is the limits of sensibility. In what ways our senses are limited? Your senses are stimulated by physical energy in the form of light waves, heat waves, or sound waves. In the introduction of the movie, the main character, B. Rabbit, is in the front of the mirror. The first thing he does is practice his gesture and rap while listening to music. And he is practicing how he will present himself on stage. Classic chain of events will have occurred in the second as you perceive, process, and interpret sensory information. Psychophysics is a field of study in which physical energy such as sound waves or electromagnetic radiation is quantified and connected to the dimension of the feelings we experience such as loudness or brightness. Psychophysical studies have uncovered a great deal about our sensory capabilities and their limitations. For instance, our eyes provide us astonishing broad access to the world. You may peek into the little world of a dewdrop in one moment and a starlight years distance in the next. Nonetheless, eyesight significantly limits what we may view as the other senses' vision function. As a data reduction mechanism, your senses provide just the most critical information to your brain. Before delving more into individual senses, let us consider how the senses minimize the quantity of information the brain needs to process. When it's B. Rabbit's turn to perform his rap, he choked because he saw the crowd and clouded by the loud and noisy voices of the spectators. So instead of showing his rap skills, he didn't even have the courage to open his mouth and speak out, and he just laughed because of fear and shame. Transduction. How is data minimization accomplished? First, our senses restrict our ability to experience since they are incapable of transducing all of the physical energy in our environment. When B. Rabbit is riding on a bus while listening to music, he gets to make rap lyrics from the signage and the graffiti or random words which he sees in the walls and houses he passes through. Sensory receptors, such as the eyes and ears, act as biological transducers, converting one kind of energy to one another.
For instance, it takes just 3 photons of light contacting visual receptors at the back of the eye to generate a feeling. A photon, pronounced as a photon, one particle of energy is the tiniest package of light conceivable. 3 photons are equivalent to seeing a candle burning 30 miles away. When we examine pitch sensitivity, the ability to distinguish between higher and lower tones, we discovered that people can hear sounds as low as 20 Hz of vibrations per second and as high as around 20,000 Hz. This is an outstanding range from the lowest pipe organ rounding to the loudest stereo. When the fire started burning the house, B. Rabbit was left there because he was busy checking the picture he saw while spreading the gasoline, and his friend panicked and ran. Then he went out the window upstairs and jumped. On the other hand, the 20,000 Hz is the top limit for human hearing, while bats, dogs, cats, and other animals have a hearing range much beyond this.
There is a part wherein B. Rabbit's friend in the car pulled out a gun, and when he saw it, he starts panicking, thinking it was a real gun and they might get in trouble because of it, only to find out that it was a paintball gun, and his other friend encouraging him to try it, and he shoots the police mobile, and they all panic because the mobile is running from them. Sensory analysis and coding sensory analysis has a significant effect on what we feel. The sense partition the world into significant perceptual characteristics as they process information. Basic stimulus patterns, lines, forms, edges, spots, colors, and other patterns are examples of such aspect for eyesight. Sensory system must code information once they have peeked and examined it. Sensory coding is the process of converting significant aspect of the environment into brain understood information. The movie connects to the topic psychophysics by knowing which brain regions are engaged enable us to deduce the general nature of the feelings we are experiencing. Sensory localization enables the artificial restoration of sight, hearing, and other senses. Sensations are created when information from the sense organ is processed. Perception occurs when the brain organizes stimuli into meaningful patterns.